Hi, it's Tammy, NZ Gastric Sleeve. Just thought I'd come on and give you a little bit of an update around how things are going for me. So you may or may not have noticed I haven't actually published any videos yet. This is technically my fourth, but the other three I've published as private. I have done that from the point of view that I'm still not exactly sure whether I'm definitely going to get surgery or not. In my eyes I am, but if the publicly funded route that I'm tracking down ends up saying no, then it means probably more delay and having to go and pay for it privately. So all things going well, I should meet the publicly funded route. I've got a BMI of about 44, and I've got about 6 or 7 comorbid conditions. So things are looking good for the public route, but it's been a little frustrating for me, and that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about in this video. So back at the start of June, I got a phone call to say that invited me along to an information evening. So I had, if you haven't watched the other videos, which I will publish before this, I am from Wellington, New Zealand. I have been on a waiting list here. First saw my doctor March last year, so March 2012. So that's about 17 months ago. So at the start of June I got a phone call to say that come along to this information evening, you'll find out more about the operation that's on offer and what's required, what our criteria are, etc. So at that information evening, it was outlined that the process for the particular group of district health boards that I'm under is to go along and have 2 one-hour sessions with a counsellor, and then 1 dietitian appointment. Now they are back to back, so I've had the 2 counselling sessions, and I've got the dietitian appointment next week. So basically there has been weeks. There has been weeks, so 1 appointment every Wednesday for the last 2 Wednesdays, and the coming Wednesday, it's Saturday the 3rd of August today. So it was quite a long wait. It was about 7 weeks from when I had the information evening to getting the appointments for the counsellor. So the wait has been quite difficult for me. It's one of the things that's come up in the counselling session. At the first session I was quite disheartened about not having any sort of certainty around what the process from here was going to be, and so much so I actually walked out of the first counselling session crying, because I was just, it's been a long journey. I've been, again, if you go back and have a look at my other videos, I've been overweight all my life, and have been morbidly obese for probably the last 10, no, it's been longer than that, probably the last 14 years, and I'm 30, so teenagehood. Was probably 17 at my lowest weight, so 13 years. And good part of that weight, probably about 80-90% of that weight, went on within a year, from me being 17 to 18. So I was from about 9 months out of leaving school, and then the year after that I put on about 35-40 kilos of weight. So we're talking pounds, we're talking 80 to 90 pounds within a year. So, and then I've struggled with my weight ever since. I was probably 70 kilos going through high school, and I'm only 5'2", so still overweight. probably overweight onto the obese kind of category even through high school. I did lose some weight and got down to 63 kilos at straight out of school. So those kind of 6 months following school, I lost about 7 or 8 kilos and got down to 63 kilos. And I was quite good then. That's probably the only time I've ever been in my healthy BMI, and that would have been at the height of my healthy BMI. I think my BMI at that stage was about 24 and a half. So at the high end of a healthy BMI, but I'd love to go back there. I've actually got no pictures of me at that weight, which is quite disappointing. There's whole chunks of my life where actually there is very little pictures of me. I don't like my picture being taken, and those that are, I just don't like them, so I delete them. So anyway, back to the journey of the assessment. So I, as I say, I've had 2 counselling sessions, Wednesday for the last 2 weeks. The first session I found quite difficult. I was fine for a start. I'm a big talker, so this is not new to me. However, I'm not good at putting myself out there, hence why this is my 4th video and they haven't been made public yet. I've decided today that I'm just going to do it and just roll with the punches. So as I say, I find it hard putting myself out there, the feeling of being judged. And at the moment I sway between kind of feelings of, am I big enough to even be on this journey publicly funded, to other areas of my health issues are just too large for it not to happen. So as I say, me and my husband have come to the decision that if I get booted off the public list, then we'll have to go and find the money, basically. So first counselling session, felt a little bit, from my perception, I felt a little bit judged. Not that really she was saying, oh, how have you got to this kind of point kind of thing, but from the point of view of when we were talking about what sort of things I've done, I felt that she kind of dismissed what I've tried and how long I progressed on without losing weight or giving up, basically. So I've had many periods within my kind of weight loss kind of journeys where I've been doing everything I've meant to for weeks on end, the eating, the exercising, everything, and still not losing any weight. The most weight I've ever lost is about 6 kilos. And that's probably happened 3 times in my life. Once when I first left school, and I went into a job which was a lot more physical than high school. Once getting ready for my wedding, and then the 3rd time was when my brother died. So that was more from the stress of it. He was only 40, it was a big shock to her family, and I had a lot of responsibility put on me at that time around that. Again, that's one of the things that we spoke about in the 2nd counselling session, was I'd reflected on some of the things that had come up and why I was so upset in the 1st counselling session were around my need to try and control things, my need to try and take responsibility over things, myself, my family, even at work, taking on extra responsibility than is necessary, and to the detriment of myself. And so that need for responsibility, that need for control, and the fact that uncertainty really makes me anxious and makes me, I don't know how to explain it, it makes me really nervous and really just feels like things are not going my way. So when I said before around in the first session I felt judged, that was probably more judged from myself than from her. And it really was going away and thinking in that week in between those two sessions around what my issues are around my weight and what I need to kind of come to terms with in this journey. So from here, I meet with a dietitian next week. Hopefully she'll be a lot more excited with the changes that I've made up until this point than what the counsellor was. I kind of felt a little bit like she wasn't. I was telling her about the changes that I'd made, stopping to drink Coke, which was a big part of my life. I don't drink coffee. Coke was my only source of caffeine, and actually I've got no source of caffeine in my current diet whatsoever. Changes to starting to go to the gym. Even though I'm not losing weight, I am getting fitter. And then changes in relation to how I'm eating. I've never been a big eater, so that's not a problem for me, but things like not drinking while eating and that sort of thing are things that I've heard from all you guys on YouTube, and have started to make inroads into what changes I need to make to become comfortable in a post-surgery world. So see the dietitian this week. Hopefully, as I say, she'll be a lot more happy with the things that I've been doing. And then from there they get a panel together, so that includes the surgeon, the anaesthetist, the counsellor, the dietitian, and they decide from there around whether I'm approved for surgery or whether there's extra things that they want me to do. So and some people, they like you to lose a certain amount of weight before they'll approve you for surgery. I'm hoping that's not an issue for me. I weighed in this morning at 111.6, but I have been going up and down about a kilo around that 112. So I've been 112 and a half, 111 and a half, 112 and a half, 111 and a half for the last 6 weeks or so, which I find frustrating. And I find that when I go back to times when I was eating all the things I shouldn't be eating, wasn't really putting on weight then either. So it's frustrating that I'm eating healthier and nothing's kind of happening from here. This video is getting up in time, 13 minutes. What else do I want to say in this video? So this video is going to be my coming out video. I plan to make a few more videos coming up. I'll make one about what happened at the dietitian. There's a few obligatory videos that I want to do in a pre-op world, but you probably won't hear a lot from me until I get more information. So it'll probably looking about 3 weeks before I find out around whether I'm approved for surgery, and then from there it can still be 6-8 weeks, because here in New Zealand, for the gastric sleeve, there is between a 2 and 6 week pre-op OptiFast diet. So basically they set an operation date, and then depending on what the surgeon recommends for your OptiFast diet, that can weigh into your lead-in time. So I'm going to leave it there, and yeah, see you later.